Hey everyone, Lich here. You may notice something a little bit different about me, but don't worry. As soon as humanly possible, this beard is going to be back, bigger, better, more luscious than ever. So today we have Should You Pull Final Fantasy X Edition. So we'll just jump right in with our first unit, Wakka. So Wakka is a 3-star base, finally getting his 6-star form, and it doesn't do a whole lot for him. Still overall a pretty bad unit. He's got a new finishing move that's locked behind something that gives 150% attack buff, but also minus 100% defense debuff. So overall, he'll be used for the MOG event. Next up, we have Seymour, 4-star base. He's got dual black magic. He's got a limit break that could be interesting, maybe around Halloween, as it buffs his own damage against undead units by 100%. There's not very many undead units, so that's probably not very useful. Unfortunately, he has just Aga spells, no Aja spells, so there's no ramping damage on his black magic. He's kind of almost like a little mini summoner, so he suffers from some focus, and again, he's got a buff that debuffs himself. Now I'm trying to resist making a Little Shop of Horrors joke, but I think we all would really be happy if he was the 5-star base. Maybe it's just me personally. I would have liked to see him as the 5-star base, but overall a pretty passable unit. Not much going on here. So the first of our 5-star bases is Lulu. Lulu's a pretty interesting mage. It's pretty straightforward. She's only really going to be doing damage. There's no other support options. But she does have a 20% counter, both for physical and magic damage, which will apply 100% water in peril, which is really nice. Opens up some synergies. She then can use Flood, her chaining attack, to do water damage. Flood then does a 50% lightning in peril. So then that could potentially be useful for some of the other members of your team to finish on top of her or things like that. She's got some great elemental coverage. She does thunder, fire, ice, water. I guess the big 3 plus water. And there are some cons though. Unfortunately, Flood doesn't self-imperil, so it's not applying any water in peril. She's really reliant on that counter in order to maximize the damage that Flood is going to deal, and she's got some pretty low HP, so you're wanting her to get hit to activate the counter, but her HP is pretty low. Her TM is a pretty good, it's a really good Mage Rod, 120 attack, 20% MP. If you have Emperor's Rod, it's going to be most of the time better for you. But if you have somebody that's really mana hungry, they might get better usage out of this. It might be worth taking the hit to some of the magic. And lastly, we have Yuna, the other 5-star base on this banner. Yuna is a summoner / healer. She's a really interesting unit, and it's going to be really hard for me to condense this down into a couple seconds. But here we go. She's got a new type of damage ability called Evoke Damage. This bypasses a whole lot of stuff. It does a fixed damage amount, and it's based on magic in spirit. And it uses the Esper gauge in order to cast the ability. It's pretty interesting. She's got a 20 times multiplier on her single target one, and I think like a 9 times multiplier on the AoE one. She's got a really amazing limit burst, covers a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of crystals to fill it up, so you're probably not going to get to use it all that often. She's got some healing in her kit. She also has a really nice 3-turn, 80% re-raise, a la CG Fina, and she's got 4 Baraga spells. Unfortunately, the big thing holding her back from being a good healer is her lack of dual cast. So much that I put it on there twice. She's is not really going to be probably usable as your main healer for a lot of stuff without applying a dual cast to her in some way. She doesn't have the same abilities as some of the other summoners to increase the Esper gauge as much, so that's going to hold her back as well. That said, she's still a really powerful unit and gives you a lot of utility, and she's a really nice pull. As for her TM, this is kind of tailor-made for her, or tailor-made for anybody doing evoke damage, as it comes with 68 magic and 116 spirit. It's like a built for summoners weapon. The auto limit break of 1 LB crystal is just, if you're currently using Holy Wand, this could be a replacement for that if you don't need either the Holy or the dual cast white magic. So this is actually a pretty hard banner to give a recommendation on. We've had a lot of good healers and summoners recently that I know a lot of people have gone after. That said, Yuna is a really good unit now, and is going to be a really great unit at 7 stars. But we also have the potential for Sephiroth banner with a step up, hopefully, coming soon, within the next maybe month and a half. So if you're free to play, if you're a Dolphin, unfortunately my suggestion for this banner is to do your dailies and hoard everything like a hoarder, and then whales, you know how we do. So if you enjoy this banner, go do your thing. As I do, I will be pulling. Do as I say, not as I do, this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing a 500 follower celebration on Twitch. We're giving away some FFBE art books and some other things. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys can stop by. Anyways, thank you for watching, and be easy.